And majority of the people on the trail just above have no idea this is here. There we are, good sense of scale. This is the Enola low-grade trail. But back in the day, this was an active rail line. And more than 40 years ago, there was a pretty bad train crash further down this direction. And from what I've learned, there's still some wreckage left today. And I'm currently heading out to find it. To learn more and to see what's left today, you know what to do. Just come along with me. So we just started off back in that direction underneath the Safe Harbor Bridge. There's parking access. We climbed up the slope and we're now on the trail. And I say we because I'm not alone. I do have two special guests with me. Jake and Becky are here, coming to check out the train wreckage and to learn more about what took place, which I'm going to share with you as well once we do get on site. I do have GPS coordinates, so we should be able to get directly there without any confusion or misdirection. But we were talking off camera, we actually have ridden past this numerous times because we've ridden our e-bikes down here before and we never knew where the wreckage site was. But today we're going to find it. And if you didn't know, this is a popular area for rock climbing. There's different rock faces that have been scaled by numerous people. And better than me though. I'd be that high looking down like, okay, get a helicopter, get me out of here.
In the United States that I've been to, it says this is the turnaround point if you don't want to go to excessive.
There are some incredible rock faces here, and I'm showing these because these are going to play a part in what we're going to learn about what caused the crash. But these are pretty massive and near vertical. And there's actually carabiners up there. People have climbed that. Yeah, they're up there at least 50 feet.
So that's how you get down, you just walk backwards?
Yeah, you have to have a helper holding the tension on the rope. I know absolutely nothing about what they're doing here, but pretty fascinating to watch.
You got this.
Do I though?
You do. Go that way.
No pressure.
Go around the outside.
Make your own path. Well, props to those who are skilled enough and brave enough to do that. I like to keep my feet on the ground or even underground. Came prepared by downloading the offline maps and it led us directly to where we have to go. So basically, once you pass this giant rock face where all the rock climbers are, there is a offshoot and I believe this is where we have to be. We're within 50 feet of our target. Well, without spoiling it, we do have a chunk of rail right there. A little further down, chunk of steel right there. And the rest of it's below that. So we're going to take a switchback down and walk up towards it and be able to explore it in safer conditions than where we are right here. And we're finding more of it. Ties, plates, spikes, and rails. All right here. So, I think we found the location. Even though there's more than just this to see. Yeah, check this out. This rail was ripped up during the crash. It's a big curved section right here. I bet you if you look in the right area, you can find some stampings. Plates and spikes are still attached. Rails were ripped right out of their holds. All right, so I'm gonna explore the wreckage first. It's over here in a bunch of different pieces. from your location, you'll be able to see a good sense of scale as to how it is compared to me, Jake, and Becky. And then I'll come back and give you some close-up details. But I also have some information to share with you too. Once I get up there, we'll talk some history. Actually walking on part of it right here. So there's a good chunk of it right here. Some behind me, some down there. It's all twisted and bent, but still very recognizable as to what it used to be. Those of you looking at the carnage and the wreckage site probably could already tell what this is or was. I'm going to confirm that in just a few moments. Looking for any stampings possibly. Oh, here we go. 13225-RE-CC, Tennessee, USA. I did learn recently CC is controlled cooled. So Tennessee, can we find some dates? It looks like would that be correct, 1979? I'll have to bring the camera over. It might be 1979, which should be like the newest rail I found because the wreckage happened not too long after that. Yeah, Becky and Jake are finding the polyurethane pellets. What is it? Beanie Babies?
I think it's the same type of pellets that they use in like stuffed animals.
Stuffed animals. Also, someone said maybe from like beanbag chairs too.
Yeah. Or if they, like you said, they might melt them down and make like figures.
Yeah, put them in molds. So before we continue on exploring, let's learn some history about what we're looking at here, why it's here. So this is known as the 1981 Christmas train wreck. Conrail freight train carrying 82 cars struck a 3-ton boulder that had fallen onto the tracks from the steep cliffs above. We walked by all the steep cliffs, so you can see the size of the rocks that they're climbing on over there. No surprise that that's where it came from and that it is that big. The 82-car Conrail-owned train was en route to Mooresville in Bucks County, carrying a heavy load of paper, sand, and petroleum byproducts. The train was traveling at approximately 30 miles per hour at 5:11 p.m., which was near dusk conditions. And I hear voices. Maybe it's just you guys. When it hit the obstruction, the force of the collision caused the 2 lead locomotives and 13 cars to accordion into a zigzag formation, and the accident peeled up 300 feet, nearly a football field length of track in both lanes. Remarkably, there were no fatalities, but the engineer, William Neway, was trapped inside the cab as it was tossed around, but he did survive with back injuries and contusions. 3 other crew members were able to jump from the train before impact. Nearby residents up to a mile away reported hearing 2 booms that sounded like dynamite explosions, and the crash caused approximately $500,000 in damages, and the Enola low grade was out of service for several days as cleanup efforts took place, and freight trains were detoured 20 to 25 miles on Amtrak passenger rails through Lancaster. Most of the wreckage was cleared, but at least one unsalvageable boxcar was pushed down the embankment, and that's what we're looking at today. And I have heard reports that it was either pushed down here, as I stated, also though that it actually came over near the edge and toppled on its own, and it was just not worth removing it. So however it got down here, it is here. 100% it's a boxcar, and I think there's more than just that though. There's a lot of rail infrastructure here, possibly parts of a tower, a signal tower, and some other twisted steel and metal that we really can't identify. But what's left of the cargo though are all these little pellets that are like polyurethane, and also the petroleum byproduct potentially gave scare to officials and residents that it was going to be a flammable, poisonous chemical, not only getting into the water system, but it could potentially explode. They deemed it wasn't flammable. It was only going to be harmful to skin. It would cause burns. But it collected down here in the culvert, but it did not enter the Susquehanna River, which was good. So they were able to contain it before it turned into a bigger cleanup mess. All right, back on ground here. I'm gonna take you guys around. Here is something that Jake and Becky spotted. This is all pellets that are kind of melted together. yeah, heat did this. But they're all individual pellets, which are actually under the rock right there. And they would melt them down and put them in molds to make certain products. And a lot of rail here, and I actually found a really clear, precise piece, which I'm going to show you in just a moment. But some of this is hard to get to, but doing our best. Yeah, look at all the wreckage here. A lot of rails, connectors, hardware.
My bad. Bad aim.
I heard that.
That was a big ass.
And that's obviously looking where it would have came from. So right here is the sliding door. Still got some stampings on it right there. You see the word door and the latch with the pin that would have went out to secure it. So the door is down here. This is a grate which would have went around one of the ends, possibly to walk on near the couplers, I believe. And in here we have some J hooks still in place, which I don't know why I'm thinking they're going to move, but they're not. But J hooks right here. Some of the plastic pellets are attached to them. There's a plate right here. And we have a really good section of rail that I'm going to show you in just a moment. Look at that piece right there. It's twisted and bent and curved. That's not normal. That was done during the crash. All right, so bear with me. I'm going to flip the image for you. I'm reading this backwards. So we have 14031. I don't know what that is. RECC, which I'm believing is controlled cooled. Next to that is USA. This one says Illinois. Then 1976. And then 7 tally marks. July 1976. This rail was rolled roughly 5 years before the crash happened. And I don't know of any manufacturing companies out in that area. I'm pretty used to Bethlehem Steel here on the East Coast and in Pennsylvania. So this is new to me to see Illinois and other ones saying Tennessee that I'm going to show you up there as well. So I just showed you that rail. Jake spotted this chunk of steel here with some stampings and numberings on it. So it looks like there was a type of decal here that has like a C and an E possibly. But right here, I see HTG, then a 4, and then a 7. I can't read what was missing in the middle there. Maybe 407. So I think this is part of the boxcar itself, as is much of what we're looking at right here. That's a good chunk of it right there. I'd love to find some wheels. So it might be some frame that we're looking at. This is definitely part of the structure of the boxcar. It's not real thick metal here.
So what would this be? A roof maybe?
That looks like regular guardrail, but it's not.
It's huge.
Yeah, it could be the roof.
Giant spider web.
Lighter metal in the side.
But it's like exposed like aluminum, it looks like.
Yeah.
That's a good question. It looks like guardrail material.
Were there any other
Look at there's some, I call them cotter keys or pins, holding the linkages together. There's a stamping on there too. A lot of it's buried, a lot of it's scattered. Some more numbers there, hard to make out. So this whole embankment is a combination of ties, rails, plates, spikes, and boxcar wreckage. And majority of the people on the trail just above have no idea this is here. Nor did I until recently. That piece snapped off right there. more grading. And here, oh, here's a good view. If I could zoom in here and show you, you can see the clear definition of the boxcar. That's the outer exterior part, I believe. I think, maybe not, because I do see some linkages in there. Either way, that's a clear identifying mark of a boxcar, whether it's the inside or outside. And it just ripped open like a tin can. If there's wheel trucks down here, or wheels themselves, that'd be an ultimate find for me. But if we don't find them, I'm not gonna complain. I mean, you have to come here with someone who, you know, knows this stuff better than we do to identify it, but
Like Nick.
anyone that works for the railroad, yeah, Nick or anyone else.
Or have you actually got to see a video of it happen?
There is pictures though, which I shared during the coverage of the history, but yeah, I doubt there's any video. But only to imagine the engineer driving that train, seeing that 3-ton boulder in the middle of the tracks, knowing there's no way to stop in time.
In between the 4 and the 7.
Yeah, no, this could be the exterior part of the boxcar. I'm just trying to identify it for myself. Because the outside has those curves, the inside's kind of smooth. So I think this is the inside, and I think this is the outside. But if I'm incorrect, feel free to let me know down below. But that's what it appears to be with me here. Yeah, we're realizing though there's more than just a boxcar here. There's like rail infrastructure. Probably part of a tower or something else nearby, because a lot of it, when this happened, you know, 13 cars zigzagging accordion style is going to do some damage. Now here's what I found earlier. So 13225-RE-CC. This one says Tennessee, USA-1. And then again, it's repeated over here. And then we have 1979 right there. That looks like 1979. So we have 1976, 1979. One says Tennessee, other says Illinois. So we got two different rail manufacturers, two different dates, but I'm just surprised the rail dates are as new as they are. All right, so now we're down below the wreckage site, what we're looking at right now. And Becky just made a discovery. We're down here near the water, and this was laying over this log. She picked it up and moved it, and these are insulators. This came from a power pole, so now we know that we're looking at more than just boxcar wreckage, as I suspected, rail infrastructure. So this had something to do with the telegraph or electrical poles. And also, right by Becky is a cutting wheel. Makes you wonder if this is down here from the wreck site or not. It's pretty brittle. And down here is our entryway into the darkness. And Jake was scoping it out. He's like, it's freezing in there. I had to zip up my jacket. We had water flowing through, but I think we could at least walk along the edge. And we should be brought out to the Susquehanna River. But a lot of nature's carpet, nice cold breeze coming through. I can see it's brick lined on the upper portion. So let me get down there and scope it out myself, and then we'll head through together. Yeah, this is like a wind tunnel. Oh yeah, I can walk through it. It's one thing that this Enola low-grade trail has a ton of is culverts. This will be the third one I've documented so far. The last one that me and Jake found when we were here last time was a double chamber one we found further down. The camera lights up pretty good, and there's probably a 10 to 15 mile per hour breeze head on. Huh?
I feel like you're riding your e-bike.
Yeah, that's what it does feel like.
Jake got more than house on this side than that side.
I got waterproof boots on. I'm okay. It's not too deep. So I don't want to slip and fall, obviously. So the base of it is concrete with these stones. So we're almost halfway. I'm going to kill the lights, show you what it's like in here with no lights at all.
It's pretty bright without light.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it without a light, but you have to go really slow. See some notches here. Brick's in really good shape. There's a bone right here. Oh, there's a bunch of bones.
What?
There's a bunch of bones. Something perished here or got washed down here. It's like a
Clavicle.
clavicle, yeah. I couldn't think of the word. They made it in one piece.
Oh, I got my toes.
Jake's about 2/3 of the way through. And out here, back to daylight. And you can see what got washed down through here is a bunch of tires, which are all stacked up on the other side. So somebody did some illegal dumping. Ooh, that's slippery. So I've got a tire graveyard, a little tiny spillway right here. And looks like it continues down to another culvert under the rails. I'm going to investigate that one. But the opening on this side is pretty massive. It's impressive and holding up really, really good. There we are, good sense of scale. Bigger on the outflow than the inflow. Coming down, I can see too at a pretty good pitch. You losing your balance there? Becky's off to the side of you. She's like voguing. All right, we're making progress. Jake is still in the tunnel somewhere. I think he's back closer to the entrance. And got a great view from here. The trail's above it. Becky and I are proceeding further down because there is one more culvert right down here beneath the rails. I want to see if we could, yeah, off to the side here I could get down. I want to see what it's like inside. Maybe be able to go all the way through to the other side. All right, we're down further now. We ascended downwards. Came to a rather steep drop off, which we may or may not attempt. Culvert is right there, and we're down here alongside NS rails, and there are two red signals in the distance. And we're also seeing too some beams like these. Stuff like this was probably topside along the Enola trail or the Enola line, which is part of the wreckage and carnage that we're seeing by the boxcar. All right, so Becky's being camera person. I'm gonna try to come down this way here, which may be smart, might be dumb. I think getting out's gonna be the bigger problem. Okay, that wasn't terrible. All right, let me go down ahead of you, then I could guide you. All right, Becky's a trooper. She's got a hurt shoulder and she's still doing it. There's tires down here too, so that's why I tripped in and almost fell. Oh, look, there's the eagle. Holy crap. Bald eagle. Wow, he flew right over us. Must be a nest around here. Yeah, so that's what we scaled down. Oh, there's a drill marking there.
Yeah,
that's what you're pointing out?
Yeah.
Yes, that was drilled and blasted. So down here, it's a similar type culvert, just smaller. Block, brick on the inside here, some stalactites hanging down. And this is gonna take it, the water right out to the river. The inside here though, there's a lot of buildup of material and some big boulders here too. Yep, there's the discharge. It's block lined right down there and eventually spills out right there. So we have completed the entire journey of the water for the most part. Oh yeah, it's like fresh. Yeah, I'm not going to show you guys. Ow. But just behind you guys, under this little rock ledge, there's the deceased raccoon, and it's pretty fresh.
He still has his eyes.
Yeah, it's like only a couple days old. It's like a little den there, I think. A little bit of a smell, not terrible, but we're coming up the opposite side than what we came down. There's some more footholds here, so. Oh yeah, I can smell it.
That was my bad arm.
A little tougher climb than we anticipated, but we made it. Teamwork. And look what we have up here. Not only that, got a couple J-hooks, bent J-hooks, some coal, and look on the ground here. It's like a graveyard of spikes. Some of them are old, some of them are not. So I'll show you the difference.
Spike yard?
Yeah, spike yard. This is a relatively new one, probably from NS doing track work. This is an older one. You can see the clear difference. Corroded, bent and warped. So this one's even worse. Looks like it was underwater. But this one was never used, I don't believe. These were used. What's that? Yeah, I saw that before. So I was looking, Becky's confirming this is part of what we saw by the boxcar. We saw a twisted beam that didn't look like it was part of the boxcar, and we said maybe a tower. It's probably something like this, and these are old telegraph towers. Typically we've seen them as like wooden telephone poles. These ones are steel with the wood extension coming off where they would have been attached to. And that piece that we found near the water that had the insulators could have came off as something like this. Oh yeah, this is the other side of the boxcar. You can see the waves on the back side of this. This is the inside. Yeah, so what we showed you down bottom by the NS line, we're pretty certain this is one of the beams that we showed you that had the telegraph insulators on them. I mean, not 100% certain, but pretty close to it. It's almost identical in length and size. Looks like it's much too long, either that or it's part of the frame of the boxcar. Could possibly be that. Has about the same length as the boxcar length. So we're pretty certain, pretty confident it's one of those two things. That was a workout today between the culverts and climbing up and around the wreckage and back up here. Got the heart rate going for sure. This is a site I know that has been documented by a bunch of different people over the last several years, but I wasn't made aware of it until the last few years when I first came down here to ride with a group of friends on the low-grade trail. So when I learned about it, I knew I wanted to come see it for myself, because videos and pictures never do it justice. And although it's not a fully intact boxcar, we could clearly see it was a boxcar. And whether they cut it up or torched it or whatever they did, it's still laying down here over 40 years later from the devastating crash. I should say potentially devastating crash. Thankfully there's no fatalities, but it happened somewhere in this area, most likely where we came from, where this rock face is. And to have a 3-ton boulder laying in the middle of the tracks going 30 miles an hour would be pretty terrifying. And no surprise, we ripped up 100 yards worth of track and was a big cleanup process. I do want to thank both Jake and Becky for coming with me, because I told them about it, asked them if they wanted to join me, and they were a great help locating and finding other things, other clues that I was missing with my own 2 eyes. So between the three of us, we covered it all, did the culverts, and now I could say I visited my first train wreckage site here along the Enola low-grade trail. If you ever do want to come see it for yourself, there's tons of information online about it. Just search Enola low-grade trail train crash. The coordinates will be on there. easy to get to. It's less than a mile walk from the Safe Harbor Bridge. And if you're on bike or e-bike, you'll be here in a matter of minutes. But we'd love to hear your thoughts on what you've seen. And if there's anything I was incorrect on that you have better knowledge on, by all means, educate me down below. Otherwise, take care. Thanks for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.